we weren't meant to live on this earth for eternity. In fact, eternity on this earth would be pretty lousy. War, disease, pain, sickness, all of these things. We're looking forward to a new kingdom, a better kingdom. And for the Christian, that's what our hope always should be in. Because if our hope is in the things of this world, then we're going to get disappointed time and time again. Because here, moth, rust, moth destroys, rust breaks down, thieves come and break in and steal, stuff decays. Nothing on this earth is going to last. But the promises we have in heaven and eternity can't be taken away by anything. And that's a promise that I like to emphasize in my sermons a lot. One of the things I like to emphasize the most in my sermons is salvation is something that can't be taken away from us. There is no mistake you can make. There's no sin you can commit. There's no test you can fail that's going to cause God to give up on those that put their trust in Him. In 2 Timothy, one of the encouragements Paul gives to Timothy is even if we're faithless, even during those times when we're faithless, when we forget God, when we mess up, God remains faithful because He cannot disown Himself. And that's God's promise for all who have put their hope in His resurrection, in His salvation for our sins. Because He died on the cross for us, we have that eternal promise that God will not leave us, He will not forsake us, and He has heaven in store for us. And it's a good thing. So, don't let things like death scare you or make you think that God has abandoned you or forgotten you. For the Christian, death is almost like our final reward. It's the moment where we cross the finish line and we say, we've done it. And we each have a different length of a race. You know, some of us are longer or shorter than others. My challenge is just to run your race well. However long it's going to be. Run it well. You guys have been...
Well done, good and faithful servant.
Well done, good and faithful servant. Those are the words that you want to hear at the end of the day. I did a video on the parables, on 2 parables of the minas and the talents once, back when I was doing the parables of Jesus series. And everyone was given different things to be in charge of in their life. Some people were given different amount of talents. Some people were given minas in these 2 different parables. And most of them did stuff with what they were given. But then there were a few that didn't do anything at all. They just buried it in the ground and kept it hidden and didn't use it. And for those who used it, even if they didn't accomplish much with it, some of them, they accomplished great things. They multiplied it tenfold. Some people, all they did was double it or increase it by a little bit. Even those that just increased it by a little bit, God said, well done, good and faithful servant. Come share in your master's happiness. So don't look down on yourself if you feel like you haven't accomplished as much as someone else. Don't watch out for jealousy. Don't condemn yourself because you say that other person lived their life better than mine, or they accomplished more, or they did more. First of all, because you don't know what's next in your life. You don't know what future things God has in store for you. And also because that's not how God sees it. That's not God's economy. When He sees you serving in His kingdom, even if it's just a little bit that you accomplish, His words to you are, well done, good and faithful servant.